Ang ating chosen delight of the day ay a classic. Pancakes with butter and maple syrup.
Yun, no?
Oo. Sakto yan, hindi lang po pang breakfast. Pwede rin pang merienda, bakit hindi?
Parang walang pinipili yata yung
Oo,
pancake. No?
actually comfort food kasi, no?
Pero alam mo, kailan ko lang na-appreciate yung pancake na may savory element. Yung, diba, kung may hotdog, may kasamang ham, etc. etc.
What do you mean, on the sides or nakahalo?
Well, on the side. Parang ito yung parang pinaka-carbs mo.
Talaga?
Pero in theory kasi, ang waffle dog, di ba? Ganito rin naman yun eh. Iba lang yung itsura niya. Ikaw ba'y gusto mong mini pancakes or big-ass pancakes?
Gusto ko yung malaking pancake. Actually,
Correct.
mas gusto ko kasi waffle.
Bakit?
Hindi ko alam. There are days na gusto ko waffle, may days na gusto ko pancakes, pero majority
Sabagay.
talaga, usually waffle.
Magkaiba, same batter, pero alam mo, feeling ko, baka psychological lang may nagagawa yung parang yung griddle yan na may mga grooves. At
Ako
mga-
naman, gusto ko kasi nakikita ko yung syrup. I don't know why, but basta
Yung
gusto.
syrup?
Oo. Ngayon sa pancakes, because it's easily absorbed, lagay ako ng lagay. Pagkain ko tuloy ng pancake, pagka-slice ko, soggy na kasi sobrang dami ng syrup.
So parang kinain mo ay syrup na may konting
Correct.
pancake.
Asukal na may konting pancake. Oo. Anyway, yan po ang ating merienda of the day. Sana po meron ding nakahain sa inyo as we give you the biggest news of the day. It is a busy news day today. Here's a quick rundown of what you can expect in today's show. Of course, there's a capture of dismissed Bamban Tarlac Mayor Alice Guo in Indonesia. We will be speaking to the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission later for more details, so do stay tuned for that conversation.
Also in the news, still, ang iniwang pinsala ng bagyong Enteng, that weather disturbance is already out of the country but has left a lot of areas still submerged in flood waters. And another story we're watching is the Department of Education, particularly questions on how it spent the funds under its former Secretary, Vice President Sara Duterte. And again, we're giving you details of these stories as Afternoon Delight rolls along.
Now it's time to check some stories on social media. Unahin natin, syempre, si Alice Guo caught in Indonesia, ang biggest story of the day. On the Philippine Star, ipinakita ang latest photo ng dismissed Bamban Mayor. Nako, ano mo, ang daming nag-comment dyan, ano? Parang yung itsura daw ni Alice Guo, parang hindi masyadong stressed. Hindi masyadong...
Kasi madaling araw siya nahuli. Parang 1:40 in the morning ata. September 4. Nakapunta ka na ba ng Jakarta? Ilan ba nga ng time difference natin?
Hindi ko maalala. Nakapunta na ako, pero may maliit lang kung meron man. Ano? So, ito nga, kanina, ito ang... bakit ka natatawa? Ano sabi?
Itsura ng friend ko galing sa 36 hours straight duty.
Ay, totoo ba? Pero
Ibig sabihin, ang fresh ba niya?
may mga nagsasabi, mixed reactions. May nagsasabi na, yun nga, parang galing 36 hours daw na duty. Meron naman nagsasabi na parang, bakit parang hindi nga stress, parang fresh daw. Kasi di ba yung ibang mga nagtatago, hinahanap, ay nagbabago ng itsura, nagpapagupit, nag-aayos ng, alam mo yon. So ito, kanina nga.
Parang kasing parang hindi naman siya binulaga. Parang, tanggalin mo yung face mask mo. Dahan-dahan. Teka, mag-aayos pa.
Nakapag-project.
Oo, nakapag-project. Kasi yung iba, di ba, yung parang deer in the headlights look.
Okay, oo.
Yung parang sa mga nire-raid, di ba? Yung mga ganyan. Oo.
So ito
Pero-
yung nakuha nating information na ibinigay ni DOJ Secretary Boying Remulla. Pinag-aaralan na daw kung paano mapapauwi sa bansa si Alice Guo, aka Guo Hapwing. No estimated timeline kung kailan siya iuuwi at mas complicated now dahil Indonesian police ang may hawak and not Indonesian immigration.
Oo.
So may blue notice ang Interpol kaya na-alert ang Indonesia at marami pa daw cases na haharapin itong si Alice Guo.
Okay, siya ay nahuli sa Tangerang City sa Jakarta. At ang sabi, tama ba, narinig ko ay nahuli daw sa isang parang chipipay ng motel or parang hostel or basta hindi pang Alice Go levels na pang mayaman na Pogo Operating Bamban Mayor
Ayan ang
na hotel.
kailangan i-confirm natin. No? Siyempre, pag-uusapan pa.
Nagka-press con din kasi kanina.
Oo.
No, pero maraming hindi masabi si Secretary.
Correct.
Rimulya.
Meron pang details na hindi talaga maibigay. Pero pag-uusapan pa, saan custody niya pagbalik. Tapos si Wesley Go, nasa Hong Kong na raw. Hindi pa rin confirmed kung Philippine passport ang ginamit ni Alice pa Indonesia, and some immigration people might be involved kaya nakalabas ng bansa.
Pero again, you would think na someone na ganito ka-wanted, na pinag-aanap ng buong bayan, ay may mga kaso na wala. Clarification lang po, wala pang criminal case si Alice Go, at least yung nasa fiscal level. In fact, sabi nga ni NBI Director Jaime Santiago, pagdating niya raw dito, kakasuhan siya bago harap sa Senado. So, ganun. Kasi yung kanyang warrant of arrest at the moment, Tita Denise, ay ano. Yung
Warrant of arrest at the moment was the one released by the Senate for contempt. She is facing a string of charges sa immigration co-warranto petition from the Office of the Solicitor General that challenged her right to hold public office. Now, Alice Go's assets have also been frozen by the AMLAC.
all right.
Okay, on to another story on our social media, still on the Philippine Star via Philstar Tech. Nagatech, a grassroots tech company in the Philippines, released photos of the Naga Sipag, its first high-performance productivity laptop.
What is a high-performance productivity laptop? Ang MacBook ba ay high-performance productivity laptop?
Ako, ano ba yung mga details na, no? Pero ito ang nakalagay dito. It comes with Intel Core Ultra 5, a 512GB PCIe Gen 4 SSD, and a 16GB DDR5 RAM. Kung alam niyo ibig sabihin nun, good for you.
Okay. Pero, sige, tuloy lang. Ito ba'y gawang Nagatech? Ito ba yun?
Ang nakalagay ay locally assembled nga, no?
Ayun.
Oo, first locally assembled.
Alam mo, feeling ko marami ng mga pumunta ko lang sa mga hacker dito. Sila nag-assemble. Doon sa may Gilmore, di ba? Sila na halos nag-assemble ng mga computer sila, pero gusto ko yung logo niya. No? Taste.
Nice nga, oo.
Oo, di ba? Parang something youthful and tasteful and stylish. At hindi kailangan ng mga lagyan ng mga ng bandila with clashing colors. Pero, okay, ikaw, Tita Denise, how do you quantify or how do you measure productivity?
Nako, paano nga ba? Doesn't it depend on who's using it?
Oo nga. Ang alam mo, kung sa mundo ngayon, para maging productive ka, tanggalin mo yung wifi niyan. At tanggalin mo, kung hindi mo maiwasan na gumamit ng internet, i-ban mo yung access sa Facebook at lahat ng social media platforms.
Lahat.
Masipag na empleyado yan.
Kasi isang click mo lang, biglang magtutuloy-tuloy na, mindlessly scrolling ka na lang.
Ganun ba yun?
Well, guilty kasi ako dun. Pero
Diba?
madalas nangyayari yan, no?
Ang dali-dali natin ma-distract at sabihin mo, sige, basahin ko lang itong article na to. And before you know it,
Isang oras ka na doon.
isang oras ka na
Correct.
ron. At kamot ulo ka dun sa deadline.
Ito naman pag-usapan natin. Here's something that is also being discussed on social media. MTR-CB and why it gave 2 films an X rating. Ayan. Sige, mamaya, no?
Yeah.
Pag-usapan lang natin. But again, congratulations po
Sa Nagatech.
sa Nagatech.
Magkano? Ay, mura lang siya.
39,995.
Oh, mas mura yan kaysa pag bumili kayo ng laptop sa DepEd dati. Very controversial.
Oo nga,
di ba?
no? Naalala ko tuloy yun.
Ay, SSD pa talaga siya, ano? Pero, pang ano yan, pang mga, mukha bang pang Enligaw or Patrick Paes yung kulay ng laptop, ano?
Siguro yung kulay pwede, ano? Pero again, ako, isa sa mga pwede nating pag-usapan is yung ating mga viewers mamaya. Pero ito na pala muna. Another story on social media, MTR-CB, and why it gave 2 films an X rating.
Puso pa pala yan, ano?
Apparently, now then, there's also the issue of the regulation of online streaming content. The full story from News 5 correspondent, Mean Los Baños.
This is the movie Dear Satan. It's about a child who wrote a letter to Santa Claus, but instead of Dear Santa, he accidentally wrote Dear Satan. This led to a meeting between the child and Satan where the demon tried to teach the child evil. But Satan ended up surrendering, seemingly changed by the child's goodness. This movie has been given an X rating by the Movie and Television Review and Classification Board, or MTRCB. The reason?
I have seen the film. I joined the board. I am offended as a Christian.
Ano yung demonic?
No, it is not demonic, but it is a depiction of, it has a different depiction of Satan becoming good. Satan will never ever be good.
Soto Antonio said this during the Senate hearing earlier on the agency's 2025 budget of 164 million pesos. She said Dear Satan violated Presidential Decree 1986, which is why it was given an X rating, meaning it is not allowed for public viewing. The decree, signed in 1985 by then-President Ferdinand Marcos, created the MTRCB. It states that the MTRCB board may disapprove a film for public viewing on several grounds.
I am appealing from the heart of a mother.
Another film, Alipato at Muog, was also found to have violated regulations and slapped with an X rating. This is an independently produced documentary about a man who criticized the government until he suddenly disappeared in 2007.
In the judgment of the board, the film tends to undermine the faith and confidence of the people in their government or duly constituted authorities. Therefore, the first review committee rated it X.
The filmmakers of Alipato at Muog have already applied for a second review by the MTRCB, saying the X rating is effectively a form of censure, while the producers of Dear Satan said they will change the title of their movie. The hearing also discussed the issue of indecent content on the streaming site Viva Max. When asked if the MTRCB can regulate X-rated content on social media sites and online streaming platforms, the MTRCB chief had this to say.
How can we solve this problem? Kasi kahit sino, kahit minor de edad, pwedeng manood ng yung mga pelikula na X-rated, supposedly X-rated, lalo na doon sa Viva Max. How can you control it? How can we regulate it?
Truthfully, it is impossible to regulate all these online curated content platform services. We cannot review, classify each and every material before it is exhibited on the screens.
Soto Antonio said that the board had previously engaged in discussions with Viva Max, which assured them they were trying their best to cooperate with the MTRCB. Meanwhile, MTRCB Executive Director Roberto Diciembre explained that the board was created long before the internet existed, hence the reason they don't have jurisdiction over online content yet.
There are thousands, even millions of materials to be reviewed if we will be reviewing online streaming. And the board is not capable of doing so, Mr. Chairman.
Although they lack mandate, the MTRCB is talking to Meta and TikTok about safeguards, content control mechanisms, and establishing feedback systems. By the end of the hearing, the MTRCB's requested budget passed through the Senate committee. For News 5, Mean Los Baños, we are One News.
All right, pag-usapan natin yung mamaya. But now, let's circle back to our top story, the apprehension of dismissed Bamban Mayor Alice Go in Indonesia. The question is, what happens next? Let's ask News 5 correspondent Ria Fernandez, what do we know at this point, Ria, at kailan daw aasahang babalik o makikita si Alice Go sa Pilipinas?
Hi, Lord. Ito katatapos lang ng ating interview sa spokesperson ng Bureau of Immigration na si Ms. Dana Sandoval. At ang kanyang sinasabi ay very, very soon yung pagbalik ng dating alkalde ng Bamban Tarlac ni sa Alice Go mula sa Indonesia dito sa Pilipinas. Meron siyang paliwanag dyan, no? Kasi syempre yung experience natin o yung nasaksihan natin doon sa umano'y kapatid niya na si Sheila Go at kay Cassandra Ong nang sila ay ma-intercept ng Indonesian authorities ay kinahapunan ay nandito na sa Pilipinas. Pero ang paliwanag ng Bureau of Immigration natin dito sa Pilipinas, ibang grupo kasi yung humuli kay Alice Go. At this time, mga pulis daw ang nagmanman at humuli kay Alice Go. Kaya kailangan dumaan daw sa sariling booking procedure ng pulisya ng Indonesia si Alice Go bago siya ma-turn over sa Indonesian immigration at maibalik dito sa Pilipinas. Lord?
Ria, have we confirmed kung ano yung passport na ginamit ni Alice Go?
Wala pang malinaw na sagot dyan. No? Pero kung maaalala ninyo sa kaso nila Sheila Go at Cathy Ong, ang ginamit nila doon, Philippine passport. So, we assume at this point na Philippine passport din yung kanyang ginagawa or ginamit. No? Pero klaruhin ko lang, no, different yung circumstance ng pagkakahuli ni Alice Go kung ikukumpara kay Sheila at saka kay Cathy Ong. Yung unang dalawa, nahuli sila at the time na meron silang attempt na umalis ng Indonesia. Kaya ang kanilang apprehending authorities at that time ay mga immigration officer ng Indonesia. Dito naman, sa pakikipagtulungan ng ating mga pulis dito sa Pilipinas at syempre ng mga immigration officer dito sa Pilipinas, ang nanguna sa pagtugis kay dating Mayor Alice Go sa Indonesia ay ang mga pulis doon.
Okay, Ria.
Yes.
Sinabi na wait, ang coverage mo ba kanina ay sa kay Dana Sandoval ng Bureau of Immigration, ano? Ano ang mga kaso ba na harapin nitong si Alice Go sa Bureau of Immigration?
Well, definitely deportation case, no? Ito ay dahil sa kanyang misrepresentation at undesirability. So tingin din ni BI spokesperson na Dana Sandoval, ito na rin yung naging basehan kung bakit hinuli siya ng mga otoridad ng Indonesia. No? Pero paglilinaw niya at pagtitiyak niya, if ever na magkaroon na ng klarong desisyon ang Korte ng Pilipinas pabor doon sa deportation case ng Bureau of Immigration laban kay Alice Go, hindi raw nila agad-agad i-deport itong dating alkalde. Dahil kailangan daw na harapin niya muna ang iba't ibang mga local cases na isinampa laban sa kanya.
Baka malito kaya. Hindi kayo malito si Alice Go niyan. Hinahanap niyo ako sa Pilipinas, ipapadeport niyo ako agad. Oo. Paulit-ulit, ano? Ano yung mga immigration violations itong si Alice Go, if ever?
Well, basically, deportation case ang kinakaharap niya, no, sa Bureau of Immigration. Specifically dahil daw yan sa kanyang misrepresentation, yun yung meron siyang existing Chinese passport, pero meron din siyang
Yun.
Philippine passport because based on her birth certificate umano ay siya ay Pilipino. But of course, that was proven na hindi dahil meron nga siyang Chinese passport. And at the same time, undesirability dahil yung kanyang sitwasyon at storya ay nag-cause na ng matinding gulo daw dito sa Pilipinas.
Alright. Ito na kapatid. Denise. Okay. Ria, ikaw rin ba yung nag-cover doon sa DOJ presscon?
Si Camille Samonte na I guess
wait.
yung nakatutok sa ngayon ang tinututukan natin itong Bureau of Immigration.
Alright. So kung dadating anytime soon o hindi pa, abangan natin yan. Maraming salamat sa oras mo. Ria Fernandez, ang ating News 5 correspondent. Thank you, Ria. And before we proceed, batiin muna natin ang ating viewers ngayon watching Afternoon Delight kung sa Facebook o sa YouTube. Ikaw sa Facebook, Tita Denise?
Sige,
Mas mabilis
silipin
sa'yo.
ko.
Okay. Kung nanonood ngayon ng tatay ko, tay, magparamdam ka naman. Tagal-tagal na rin paggalawin mo tong basong to.
Paglawin ng baso.
Nasa Southern Leyte lang tatay ko. Hello po sa mga taga Southern Leyte.
Ito, si Reynaldo Santos, sabi niya, good afternoon, Delight, Idol Lourdes, and Miss Denise. Hello
Ayun.
po.
Idol Denise din natin yan.
Ito, si Nico Cabale, sabi niya, hi, Lourdes and Denise.
Hello.
Tapos,
Nico.
hashtag, add welcome back, ex-mayor.
Wala pa. LJZ, claim ako. Parang si Maleficent lang yan. Dati alam nating masama lang siya eh. Lumabas yung pelikulang Maleficent na may good side at pinaggagalingan kung bakit rin siya naging masama. Actually, kung pag-aaralan mo yung history ni Lucifer o Satan as dati siyang angel.
Correct.
Diba?
Oo.
The brightest, the most luminous angel daw sa lahat ng mga anghel ng Diyos. Yun nga lang, fallen angel siya because masyado siya naging proud. Pero, I don't think valid yung dahilan bilang chair ka ng MTRCB at board ka, na pagbabawal mo isa kasi na-offend ka as a Christian.
Personal na yon ng atake
Oo,
niya.
alam na okay. hindi porke offensive sa iyo ay magkahiwalay dapat.
Correct.
No? Ang iyong pananampalataya at ang iyong trabaho. Okay. Paano kunyari, alam ba sa Amerika, meron ng kunyari if Satanism were a form of religion, no, at na meron sa ibang at para sa kanila yung essence ng satanic worship is not the way we know it na masama, pero so religion sila, pwede mo ba ipagbawal yun? E paano kung sabihin nila, I invoke my religious right? So medyo tricky yung ganong at invoking a law in using 1985 na ginamit na ni Mark. Pero hindi, dito Denise, ito kasi. Hindi ba sa Christian theology naman ng SSO is forgiveness and lahat ng tao ay may kakayahan na magbago? So sinasabi ba niya, si Satanas ay hindi maaaring magbago?
Depende, no, kung ano kasi yung perception niya, ay yung kanyang perception dun sa movie at kung paano niya nga receive din.
Kasi kung palalalimin natin argumento, kung tingin mo yung the forces of darkness ay talagang will forever be dark, yun ang pananampalataya ng mga Zoroastrianism, no?
Oo.
Na reliyon sa Iran. Essentially, dalawang puwersa talaga yan of equal power na ganun ba yun?
Hindi kaya nga, pero we circle back again to ano nga ba yung basis nung pagbibigay nung X category? Is it based majority based on the rule or dahil una niya kasing sinabi is na-offend siya.
As Christian, kasi tinitingnan ko kanina yung sinasite lang walang binaviolate yung na-offend lang siya as a Christian.
Ayun na nga. So ano ba ang mas nangibabaw talaga?
Oo.
Yan ang tanong. Diba?
Kasi, sabi niya, because Satan, we all know that, sabi niya, na-offend raw siya as a Christian, and we all know that Satan is not capable of changing.
Becoming good, something along those lines.
May pinakita bang, pero matatawa ka. Nakakalusot na panood yung mga barila na sumasabog yung mga utak, mga ganun, okay lang siguro yun, At yung mga sinasaksak dito, kinakain ng yung mga fetus ng buong buo, napapanood natin sa mga kung saan-saan. Anyway, I digress. Time out muna, marami pa kaming kwento sa inyo. Magbabalik po ang Afternoon Delight. Afternoon Delight dito po sa One News. Ako po si Lord De Vera.
At ako naman po si Denise Tan. Thank you for staying with us.
Alright, the Sibis Bamban Tarlac Mayor Alice Go has been arrested in Indonesia very early morning today. And the NBI Director Jaime Santiago told Radyo 5 that they are working on her immediate repatriation and Go will first be processed by Indonesian immigration for any violations before transferring to the NBI. And Santiago added that they plan to turn her over to the Senate, where Go has an outstanding arrest warrant for contempt. The embattled mayor was apprehended in Tangerang City, Jakarta at 1:30 a.m. today.
Po, dumating sa aming information na nakuha na ng Indonesian police kaninang madaling araw, alauna po ng madaling araw si Alice Go at nasa custody na po nila. Indonesian police po, sir. Kaya closely ang aming pagtatrabaho sa kanila dahil meron naman po tayong mga ahente na closely coordinated sa pulis ng Indonesia. Wala pa pong detalye kung paano siya nahuli, but we are now closely coordinating with the Indonesian authorities for the immediate na maibalik dito sa atin si Mayor Alice Guo. Sana today or tomorrow, pero ASAP. Gagawin namin lahat, sir. Yung usual po, dadalhin muna siya sa immigration natin for immigration na violations, ipoprocess po siya doon and then taturn over sa NBI for possible criminal charges. And then pag natapos na po namin ay itaturn over namin sa Senate kung saan siya ay may warrant. Senate pa lang, but we have already filed charges against her, including yung money laundering. Meron na po siyang charges at if you will recall, na-freeze na po ng AMLC ang kanyang asset.
Alright. Meantime, Kingdom of Jesus Christ lawyer attorney Israelito Torion says he's not sure where Pastor Apollo Quiboloy is. Torion told Soricon on One News that the last time he saw his client was back in March. And he noted that this is prior to the Senate's issuance of arrest warrant against the preacher.
I could not confirm whether or not nandito pa ba siya o wala. Basta ang sabi ko sa mga media, last kami nag-usap was March 2024. After our discussion, siguro mga late night na yun, early morning na nga, nakita ko siya, sumakay nga ng parang ata yun Innova ata yun na gray. It was a sentimental moment. Kasi yun ang last time ko na nakita si Pastor.
Meantime, the Commission on Human Rights will be investigating the servings of arrest warrant against Quiboloy. The CHR, though, also urged Quiboloy to face charges against him.
I agree with you that there are several rights that may be involved here. One of which is, as you mentioned, the religious freedom of the KOJC members, and there may be other civil liberties that may be affected, Your Honor. Before the Commission acts on the situation and to perform whatever is necessary, we have to conclude our investigation.
Now, here are more headlines on One News. The Commission on Audit has once again flagged the Department of Education. This is for failing to settle disallowances, suspensions, and charges totaling 12.3 billion pesos by end of 2023. The figure is an increase of 903 million pesos from 2022. It was Vice President Sara Duterte at the helm of DepEd during the years in question. The latest COA reports likewise shows that only 192 classrooms were built during the term of VP Sara. That number is way below the target of 6,379 classrooms until last year. The report cited inefficiencies in fund usage with only 208 out of over 7,500 classrooms repaired and just 3 out of 8 targeted last-mile schools completed. In other news, all classes in both public and private schools in Burdeos, Humalig, and Patnanungan, Quezon are suspended today. That's after a magnitude 5.3 earthquake jolted the areas at 7:16 this morning. The tremor was followed by a second quake at 7:55 a.m. with a magnitude 4.9. PHIVOX described the quakes as a doublet, meaning two similar-sized tremors occurring close together due to complex fault systems. And La Mesa Dam has overflowed today due to incessant rains. The dam's water level reached 80.20 meters at 8 a.m. Waters from the reservoir are expected to affect low-lying areas along the Tulyahan River from Quezon City, Valenzuela, and Malabon. Severe tropical storm Enteng has left the Philippine area of responsibility. As of 5 a.m., Enteng was spotted 265 kilometers west-northwest of Lawag City, Ilocos Norte. and it was slowly moving west-northwestward. Enteng is forecast to intensify into a typhoon within the next 12 hours. For today, the forecast accumulated rainfall for Ilocos Sur and Ilocos Norte is between 50 and 100 millimeters.
Tumagot naman ang Pag-asa sa patutsada online ni Albay 2nd District Representative Joey Salceda na natutulog umano sa trabaho ang Pag-asa kaya nagkulang sa pag-monitor sa bagyo. Dahil daw dito, kaya marami nanganib ang buhay dahil pag-ulan sa Bicol Region.
Kami po ay hindi natutulog at gusto po naming ipaalam ang impormasyon, of course, sa ating mga kababayan, lalong-lalo na yung mga maapektuhan ng pagbaha, ng bagyo at ng anumang kalamidad.
Paglilinaw pa ng ahensya, hindi imposible na maging isang bagyo ang LPA kahit malapit na ito sa kalupaan.
So, may mga cases na nangyayari na in less than 24 hours ay nabubo mula sa isang low pressure itong mga bagyo. That is why we keep on monitoring at nag-issue tayo ng weather advisories. At ito nga, 24/7 yung operation natin para makapag-provide po tayo ng appropriate bulletins.
Nakipag-ugnayan din daw ang Pag-asa sa iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno bago pa man ito maging ganap na bagyo. Ako si Hannibal Talete para sa 1PH.
All right, let's head down south now. We have One News Cebu desk and the Freeman editor, Dale Israel. Dale, okay, kahapon, Ching Ching, the hero dog. Ngayon may balita daw, kagatan daw ng hindi nagpakita ng abs. From the sublime to the ridiculous. Go ahead, Dale Israel.
Yes, maayong hapon, Lord and Denise. Yes, a male teacher was accused of biting two high school students at the Don Vicente Rama Memorial National High School because hindi raw napakita ng kanilang abs at ang isa hindi nagpahalik. So nagkaharap kahapon ang mga estudyante ng mga magulang at ang guro sa opisina ng barangay at doon isinalaysay ang nangyari sa eskwelahan. According to the parent, parang nanggigigil daw yung guro na sa kanyang nakitang abs kung kaya kinagat ang likuran ng isang estudyante. Ang isang estudyante naman ay kinagat sa braso dahil hindi daw pumayag na halikan ng guro. After the meeting, Lord Denise, the parents decided to file the case against the teacher because they said that he was not sincere in asking for apology. We tried to ask for comment or his side of the story from the teacher, but he refused to answer our questions. So, pupunta daw sa pulis yung mga magulang para doon na magsampan rin ng reklamo bago mag-file sa korte. Kasalukuyan pang pinag-aralan ng magulang kung ano ang kasong isasampa sa guro. Sa isang mensahe naman for the reporters yesterday, Central Visayas or DepEd Central Visayas Director Celestiana Jimenez said that they will not tolerate such acts from a teacher, and they too will conduct an investigation, and it will be led by the legal department of the DepEd Central Visayas.
Dale, just to clarify, you said na two male students, yung isa daw kasi hindi nagpakita ng abs, tama? Yung isa hindi nagpahalik. How does this interaction came to be? I mean, how did this start?
Part ba siya ng
diba? Kasi
class activity?
Oo, kasi kahit sabihin mo na lokohan o parang medyo making light of the situation, pero paano nag-umpisa lahat ito?
Yes, from what we heard from the classmates, it's actually the entire incident happened inside the classroom where there are a lot of students that were able to witness. So it's in the classroom. So one classmate told us that it's really it's out of date or it's in bad taste or they're actually also offended by what the teacher asked during the class.
Deal with such a reaction coming from the teacher. Is this something that he was expecting na they would just say yes? First time ba nangyari to? Or meron bang mga cases na kung hindi man eksaktong katulad nito, similar to what happened?
Yes, according to the coordinator of the senior high school program of the school, marami na daw yung naririnig na reklamo laban sa guro. At actually, they are actually filing an incident report already so that they can send it to the DepEd Cebu City Division because there are a lot of complaints already on the teacher.
So nanggigil. Buti pa si Ching Ching, Ito, nangangagat.
Si Ching Ching tumatahol lang at saka nagsascratch.
Tumutulong, nangiligtas.
Tumutulong,
Oo.
correct.
Pero Baka naman maganda talaga yung abs ng estudyante.
Eh, hindi
But
naman
even
yun ang
then,
usapan.
Hindi, unless physical, kahit PE teacher to di ba? At ang subject nila ay pagpapalaki ng pagpagandang abs, hindi pa rin pwede.
Yes, ma'am.
Oo. Tsaka kung teacher kayo, wag kayong mangagat.
Ano Dale, what was the immediate action taken, no? With the teacher, paano siya?
At nagpa-injection ba ng
Grabe siya.
Yes. According, there were no announcement of suspension for the teacher, but according to the RD of the Department of Education, he will be there will be due process. He will be given due process, and they'll be conducting an investigation on the incident immediately.
All right. Okay. Maraming salamat. Dale, kamusta ang weather pala dyan? On the side lang.
Yes, it's a freak weather actually because it was warm. It was so hot in the morning, but a few minutes ago it rained, and now it's back to sunny weather.
Ay, parang kahapon. Di ba? Napaka-erratic, napaka-unpredictable. And, okay. Ang Cebu daw, recently named Asia's leading wedding destination. Congratulations. Denise, may mga plano ka.
Okay, sige. Pero may storya pa ata si Dale.
Yeah, Dale, go. Sorry.
Yes, there's actually acting Mayor Raymond Garcia has asked the City Environment Office to investigate a complaint which is the residents of Upland, Barangay Binaliw is complaining of foul odor coming from the private landfill owned by Prime Integrated Waste Solutions Incorporated. So the mayor is giving 3 days for the City Environment Office to conduct this investigation and make a recommendation on what to do with the firm. And the firm actually was talking with the city council, and then they said the city council they are already conducting or nagumagawa na ng sarili ng solusyon sa reklamo at kasalukuyan siyang nag-spray ng organic chemicals to ease the foul odor. And they also planning to do biofencing, and they want to plant black bamboo on the area. I don't know what the black bamboo will do, but I guess it will prevent foul odor from further spreading throughout the community.
Dale, singit ko lang, ang pangalan ng lugar ay Binaliw. O tama ba?
Binaliw, yes.
O,
Binaliw.
May idea kung saan origin ng name?
I'm not really sure, but if in Cebuano, Binaliw is actually, and Tagalog is still crazy.
All right. Hello? Dale, we're losing you.
Yes, sir. Yes, hello? Yes.
Yan. Oo. So, baka may ibang ibig sabihin naman yun doon, ano? Okay.
But in Cebuano, it's still, Binaliw is still crazy.
Parehas lang pala ang ibig sabihin. Parehas lang din daw.
Kasi kung binuang dapat yan, di ba?
Oo nga. There is another word for that. That's right.
Binuang is joking.
Ganun ba yun? I stand corrected. Okay.
Binuang lang.
On to, ibang balita pa din about a center daw.
Yeah. Yes, I was there a while ago at the area, Mandaue Reclamation Area, where a 3 billion government center will be constructed by the Mandaue City government. It will be constructed at the former Cebu International Convention Center, which is the venue of the 12th ASEAN Summit in 2007. And there were 17 heads of state were there. But through the years, it has deteriorated, and it became controversial because of the amount spent on the construction of the facility just for one event. So recently, the Mandaue City government bought the entire property from the Cebu provincial government, and then they want to build this government center, which will serve also as the new city hall of Mandaue. But there's a group of Mandaue residents called Save Mandaue is questioning the spending of more than 3 billion pesos of just to this for this government center, because they should have priorities instead of building this government center. They should have spent it on the informal settlers that are already living inside the CICC. So mas mabuti pa daw na igawa ito ng mga bahay para sa mga informal settlers ng Mandaue City.
Okay. So Dale, alam ko yung sinasabi mo, In fact, lagi nadadaanan to pag papunta ka sa airport at from the...
Yes.
Pero ito yung napakalaking complex dyan, parang literally parang white elephant na siya kasi walang gumagamit. So mabuti naman at magkakaroon siya ng repurposing. Pero, Dale, yan ba ay talagang cluster ng government offices plus yung city capital? Diyan matatagpuan.
Yes, it will be a government center na mixed use with multi-offices of the city government of Mandaue. And it's actually a loan, a 3 billion loan from the DBP, which the city government will be paying in 15 years.
Stig, okay. Dil, singit ko lang, baka may info ka. Sa Lapu-Lapu City raw, nag-launch na sila ng universal healthcare na pasistema doon. Gaano ba ka-universal supposedly ito?
I'm not really sure about the information yet. I will check. I'll get back to you on that.
All right.
Lord.
Pero maraming salamat sa binigay mo sa aming info. Thank you sa iyo. Si Dale Israel po, ang editor ng The Freeman and One News Cebu Desk Head. All right.
Okay, now you're still watching Afternoon Delight on One News. It is time for another breather. We will be right back. You're still watching Afternoon Delight. Ako po si Denise Tam.
At ako naman po si Lourdes De Vera. Alright, 65-year-old Lola Merly proves that determination knows no age as she continues to work as a construction worker. Mobile Journal Yeda Pascual tells us her story.
Bilad sa arawan, batak sa trabaho. Meet Lola Merly, ang lolang construction worker ng San Mateo, Rizal.
Odoy, halika na. Magtatrabaho na tayo.
Buhat dito, halo doon, pukpok dito, akyat doon. Sanay na sanay ang 65 anyos na si Lola Merly sa trabahong pangbrusko. High school pa lang daw si Lola, nagtatrabaho na siya sa construction. Nagustuhan niya raw ang ginagawa dahil arawan ng sahod. Hindi tulad ng 2 beses kada buwan sa iba.
Bali ako na nagpaaral sa sarili ko. Bawa, sa umaga ang pasok ko, sa hapon, tatrabaho ako hanggang kinabukasan na yon. Papasok naman uli ako, ganun. Yung kita ko yun, ginagastos ko sa sarili ko. Kasi kung baga sa parang madali bang pera?
40 taon na niyang trabaho ang pagiging construction worker. Aminadong may nararamdaman na siyang ngalay at sakit ng katawan. Ang kanyang mga anak pinatitigil na raw siya sa trabaho, pero siya raw tong pasaway at ayaw paawat.
Yung kinikita ng mga anak ko, kulang pa sa kanila. Kaya naisip ko, malakas pa naman ako, ba't kailangan kong umasa sa kanila? Kaya ang gusto ko, sabi ko sa kanila, hanggat malakas pa ako, kaya kong maghanap buhay para sa sarili ko. Hindi niyo ako kailangan intindihin.
Hanggang ngayon, tumatanggap pa rin si Lola Merly ng mga trabaho. At kahit di na kasing lakas ng dati, masaya pa rin daw siya sa kanyang ginagawa at kinikita.
Eto na ako nasagasaan, ito na ako nahulog sa gawa. Oo. Natatakot din ako, pero wala naman ako magagawa kasi kumbaga sa yan ang trabaho na gusto ko. Yun talaga nakahiligan ko. Na hanggang siguro ako mawala sa mundo hanggat kaya ko, yun pa rin ang gagawin ko.
Pero nitong Agosto, inatake sa puso at nasawi ang kanyang mister. Kaya si Lola Merly humihingi ng tulong para makabayad sa utang sa punerarya.
Wala pa kaming pera, wala pa akong project na nagawa. Kaya nanawagan ako na dahil wala kaming pambayad talaga. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
Hindi alintana ni Lola Merly ang peligro na kaakibat ng kanyang trabaho. Para sa kanya ang buhay na kinagisnan ay hindi madaling bitawan. Mobile Journal Yeda Pascual po. Atid ang muka ng balita.
In basketball, Gilas Pilipinas Youth suffered a 56-62 loss against host Jordan in the elimination round of the FIBA Under-18 Asia Cup. The team looks to bounce back as they face New Zealand later at 9:30 p.m. Manila time. And the PVL reinforced conference action is finally resuming today. PLDT high-speed hitters will face Signal HD Spikers in the bronze medal match of the tournament later at 4 p.m. at the PhilSports Arena. Meantime, Akari Chargers and Creamline Cool Smashers will battle for gold at 6 p.m. at the same venue. Catch all these matches on One Sports, One Sports Plus, and RPTV on Signal TV.
Alright, September pa lang pero ang ilan nating kapatid nagki-Christmas shopping na. Anong September? September na. Kaya unti-unti na nga dumadami mga tao sa Dapitan Arcade for their Christmas decor needs. At nasunog yan recently pero naayos raw. Mobile Journal Denise Valdesancho has the details.
Months na! Handa na ba ang Christmas decors ng lahat? Makukulay na Christmas lights, iba't ibang size ng Christmas balls, at naglalakihang mga Santa Claus na sumasayaw pa. Malayo pa man, tila Pasko na dito sa Dapitan sa Maynila. Kwento ng isa sa mga nagtitinda na si Jeron Contreras. As early as August pala, naghahanda na sila para sa Christmas.
Nag-start po kami ng aming mga pang-Christmas decor is nung August 2nd week. Marami na pong bumibili kasi ayaw nila pong makipagsabayan sa bare months na mas maraming tao po dito.
Kumpleto rito sa Dapitan Arcade. Sa halagang 250 pesos, makakabili ka na ng 8 meters na Christmas lights. Kung pang-decorate naman ng Christmas tree, kukuti-kutitap na ang puno mo for as low as 180 pesos.
Ito po ang pinakamabenta sa amin. Ang amin pong garland 8 feet. Meron din pong mga ganitong wreath, yan, ang ganda-ganda, 2.5.
Kung ikukumpara sa iba, dito na lang raw mamili at di hamak na mas mura.
Mas mura po sa amin, hindi kami pumapatong ng triple o mas yung presyong masa lang. Yun nga po, maraming pumupunta dito na sabi mas mura sa online. Ang sabi namin, mas maganda dito, kita nyo na yung item. Kasi sa online, minsan, pag dumating, bakit ganito, hindi pala siya maganda.
Sa 5 taong pagki-Christmas shopping naman ni Fred, pinapayo niya na maaga pa lang, mas mabuting mamili na.
Last August, nandito na kami to check out pati yung prices kasi mas mababa pag mas malayo pa yung Christmas.
Nakaka-overwhelm daw talaga sa dami ng pagpipilian, kaya dapat handa rin ang iyong bulsa.
Sumusobra ng konti kasi ang daming yung extras na ang cute, ang gandang pandagdag. So, dala na rin kayo na extra in case.
Bandang Oktubre raw nagsisimulang dumami ang mamimili sa Dapitan Arcade. Kaya kung nagbabalak ka man pumunta, mas maiging agahan mo na para hindi maipit sa siksikan. Kaya mga kapatid, as early as now, mag-ready na lalo kung tight ang budget para iwas overspend at para masaya lahat ngayong Pasko. Mobile Journal, Denise Valdesancho po. Hatid ang mukha ng balita.
Actually, kahit hindi Christmas decor, overspend ka pa rin. Ang dami kasing items na magaganda dyan eh. Kaya oras sa ulit para sa I Saw the Signs. Ito na po ang ating I Saw the Signs. Alice Go. Welcome home, question mark edition.
Ito, anong unang nakasulat?
Memes ito eh, no?
Us when Alice Go arrives in Manila. Ano may nasa picture?
Well, dyaryo siya at, hindi. Welcome back our suspended barangay officials from barangay staff. Kasi siyempre, of course, may caption sa taas na, Came back.
Oh!
Ano yun?
Came back
to the young and beautiful you. Ano ba middle name? Leal, no? Sayang.
Yun pala yun.
Maganda kung ang surname niya rin ay you.
Oo nga.
Taga-Binondo siya, di ba?
Okay, next. Ito. Mga brands na nag-post ng mga freebies after malamang babalik na si Alice Go.
Okay. Hindi naman kasi Carlos Yulo si Alice Go.
Ano yung nakasalagay sa caption?
Sa caption ay, aray ko, panindigan nyo yan, ha?
Gusto ko yung sisilip ka na lang ng caption. Tumama ka ba sa upuan?
Oo, magkaka-office injury ka ba? At sa lahat pa ng tatamaan talaga, si Kapitan pa talaga.
Pero ito na nga, dahil pinag-uusapan natin si Alice Go, may oras pa. May konting oras pa. Silipin naman natin yung ating comments. Balikan natin yung social media story natin kanina, no? Dahil ang daming sinasabi ng mga tao. Ano yung kanina? Mukha daw 36 hours straight duty.
Shift. Oo.
Oo, Ito. Ang sabi dito ni Kent John Gabutan, nagparetoke ata si Mayor Alice. Dapat mayor sa Thailand kang pumunta.
Easy, ibang retoke na yun. Hindi naalis ang pangalan niya pag ganun.
Ano pa ba? Bakit ayaw maklik ng iba?
Sino si Morgana Go?
Sino si Morgana Go?
Ayun si Morgana Go na yata yan.
Baka karakter yan, natin alam. Ito sabi ni Nenet Pelin Sanchez, mukhang nagparetoke sa mukha, si Sanchay, para hindi makilala. Kahawig ba?
Si Sanchay ay...
Yung bida sa...
Meet Your Garden.
Correct. Alam mo, parang may hawig.
Oo nga, parang si Camille Samonte na walang salamin minsan. Camille, huwag mo patayin.
Again, kung meron po kayong mga nakitang signs, nakakatuwang memes, or kung ano pa yan, please send them to us at afternoondelight@gmail.com.
And as promised, kakamusta ulit natin ang Afternoon Delight viewers. May time pa ba tayo? Naku, wala na yatang time, kaya bukas na lang po ulit. Pero thank you po. At ihanda nyo na po ang inyong mga Alice Go memes.
Oo, pwede pa natin ilabas yan.
Actually, ko mamayang gabi ang dami yan.
But, that will do it for us today, Wednesday, the 4th of September. Thanks for watching Afternoon Delight. Again, I'm Denise San.
Join us again tomorrow, 2 p.m. Ako po si Lourdes De Vera, wishing you a delightful afternoon. Don't go anywhere.